Disney on a dime. Okay, well maybe not on a dime, but there are ways that you can go there and save some money. This is a good time of year to go to Disney. The decorations are up, the weather's a little bit cooler, and it's really, really, really lovely there this time of the year. It's not quite so crowded. The best way to see Disney, if you haven't already done so, sell your house, move to South Florida, and that way you can get the Florida resident season passes. They're quite the bargain. Now, people ask me, well, what about my kids? Well, see, that's a typical rookie mistake. You don't ever want to take kids to Disney. Nothing will kill your trip quicker than taking kids. Leave them with your mom, leave them with somebody else's mom, just leave them. Now, talking about young kids, because this is what you see, and then this is what they see. Yes, terrifying. Yeah, so not a good idea. Now, teenagers are a different story. You can take teenagers to Disney. They won't want to hang out with you anyway. They'll be off doing God knows what. You don't care, just so long as they don't have your name and phone number or where you're staying in their pockets. They can't trace it back to you, so they'll be on their own. When you go to Disney, it's always a good idea to stay on property. That way you can take advantage of all the transportation. You park your car, you don't move it at all. Buses, monorail, the boats, it's a wonderful thing. Check for rates. Rates, sometimes you can get better rates than at other times. If you can't get good rates staying on Disney, the best thing to do is stay as close to Disney as you possibly can. And that way you can still take advantage of their transportation. I like to stay at the Buena Vista Palace and Spa. It's right across the street from Saratoga Springs in downtown Disney. So once you get there, you essentially walk right across the street, walk into Saratoga Springs, and right there you can take a bus to any one of the parks. And, that's almost as good as staying on Disney property. Now, which park do you hit first? That's easy. First park you hit is the first one that has the rides you want to go on the most. Also, you want to take advantage of the Fast Pass. You can get one Fast Pass, which you put your ticket in. It gives you a pass where you get to the front of the line, usually a little bit later on that day. And you have like an hour window when you can do that. So always have a Fast Pass active in your pocket. You can only get one at a time. Take advantage of that. Now, me, I like MGM Studios. I know they call it Hollywood Studios now because Sony bought out MGM, but it'll always be MGM Studios to me. I like to get on the Tower of Terror first. I do about 2 or 3 what I call dips in a row. It loosens up the back. It's really wonderful. You get there right when the park opens, always. Another advantage of staying in the park is they have extended hours for people who stay in the Disney resorts. And so typically you can get in an hour early, sometimes stay 3 hours after the park closes. That's a nice feature, so keep that in the back of your mind. Once we're done doing whatever rides we want to do early at MGM Studios, we go back out the front entrance, take a boat. Boat takes you right to the rear of Epcot, and then we hit Epcot next. Epcot is great for snacking. You go all the way around the World Showcase. The boat drops you essentially right at France, so you start out with a croissant, make your way to Italy, get a chocolate mousse, etc., and on down the line. The real trick to Disney, because I hear a lot of people that get frustrated, they say, oh, well, the lines are too long. Well, you're doing it wrong. Get there early, get the rides out of the way before it gets crowded. And the trick at Disney is you always want to be where everybody else isn't. So around noon or so, when everybody finally gets to the parks and they are as packed as they can possibly be, I suggest leaving the parks and going back to the hotels. Get on the monorail loop. It takes you through the Contemporary, the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian. Wonderful, and then check out the hotels because the hotels have a lot to offer as well. So the trick again, try to be where the people aren't. That makes for a less frustrating day. So far as dining goes, if you know you're going to be at Disney a week from now, book your reservation a week in advance because, the dining fills up very, very quickly. And some of the things you really should see. For instance, at Epcot, they have a restaurant called the Living Seas where you are essentially seated right next to, I don't know how many 100,000-gallon aquarium. They've got sharks in there and turtles and stuff, and fabulous lobster bisque, by the way. So you definitely want to try to take advantage of that, but book early. One of the things not to miss at Disney, when people first go there, they're really consumed by the rides and trying to get on all that, but you really miss a lot. You miss the landscaping, you miss the little touches, the quality workmanship that they put into their signage and things like that. Don't miss that, because to me, that's the real magic of Disney. Strolling around and, just looking at this marvelous, marvelous place. So don't miss any of that.